Do so. Hey, hey, hey. Ain't nobody up here. Hey, y'all. So I am Tamika Marable King, your girl Tika Talks. Let me try to wait for a few folk to begin to chime in so I can holler. See what y'all got going on. You know my handsome husband, he be tuning in first. Okay, yes. Mr. King. Like everybody lights back on. Hopefully. The majority. Savan Van, what's up, baby? What's up? Lights restored, back in your houses, getting food, blessing other people. What's going on, great people? What is going on? Lord Savannah should. Hey, Tanella. What you doing? So, anyway, since a couple of y'all already up here, I know y'all ain't gonna talk bad because y'all just don't do good. Y'all just get up here and just be quiet. I guess because I'm supposed to be the one talking, right? Okay. So earlier today, I was having this convo with somebody, and we were just communicating about just life. You know how I am, and I'm always typically talking about things that I experience or that I know about or whatever. And we just got on the topic of how. Thank you, girl. Thank you, Savannah. Hey, Antoinette. Um, Sometimes things have to be subtracted before God can add. You know what I'm saying? That makes sense. Y'all feeling that? Hey, baby. That's my boo, my husband. Y'all okay? Y'all know. Y'all know. So, in order for God to do certain things in your life, He's going to have to remove certain things. And in some cases, wait for us to dismiss certain things, certain people. You know, sometimes we just be like, God, I want you to remove somebody. Or I want you to do this. I want you to do that. And I do believe that in some cases, God does go ahead and disconnect you or just, cause a situation to go away. But there are instances where it's necessary for you to verbally dismiss or say something that you may not always want to have to say or do. So, for me personally, as we were having this conversation, I was just thinking about my own self and how I have struggled in the past with letting go of certain things in certain situations. Sometimes you just really want to hold on. It could be because it's family. It could be because it's a relationship that you think you built up and, you hate to see what's going to come of it if you walk away after putting all this time and all this effort into it. So what do you do then? Y'all answer that. What would be your advice to somebody else who is struggling to release things that they already know don't seem to be improving or just continue to be a burden to them, and yet they continue to hold on? How painful is that? And why do we even do that to ourselves, knowing that obviously there's something else out there that belongs to us that we have not yet received, but we're too stubborn or too complacent or just out of habit want to hang on? Hey, Lakeisha, that don't make no sense, right? And we just do it every day, all the time, in many situations, in many relationships. We try to avoid pain, but yet stay in a painful situation. I don't get it. I don't even get it. And I have been on the other side where I was that person who wanted to hang on to something that was not good for me, who wanted to continue being in situations that caused great pain. And although we learn and grow in those situations, sometimes we hinder the next level by staying stuck. Y'all got to get off the ground. Y'all got to go up. Y'all got to go up, expect, more. You're going to have to experience some hurts, some disappointment, some rejection, some failure in order to truly be successful and to go where you're trying to go and have what you're trying to have. We're always thinking, I don't have enough. I don't have what I need in order to go where I need to go. Or I don't have what I need in order to do what God is asking of me. But if you didn't have what you needed, he wouldn't even give you the vision. He wouldn't give you the desire to begin doing it. So something on the inside of you has to constantly be stirred so that you're moving in the direction of your destiny and you're moving towards the things that God has placed on the inside of you. And the reason that they're in you is because you have the ability to complete those things or to perform those things. Hey, Gwen. Right. You got to go up. We are so afraid to be elevated just because of what we witness and how we see people, go through these different things. We always are looking at the finished product. When you see somebody that is successful, you're judging based on where they're already at. You're not thinking about what did those people go through to get where they are. So you're in the process, but you're focusing on them and they're already finished going through their process to get where they are. But every person that you see that has made it, that is doing something great, that is successful, that is changing the world, changing their community, those people have already went through a process to get where they are. So you need not envy anybody or be jealous of anybody who is already in a position that you desire to be in. Because trust me when I tell you that there is nothing that you cannot do if you are being obedient to God. That's where we hit the bump in the road because we don't want to necessarily obey. We just want what we want when we want it. So we already know obedience is always, better than sacrifice, number one. And secondly, it's not necessarily the most comfortable position for many of us. But let me just say, let me submit to you that if we function in an obedient lifestyle, we are going to see the blessings of that. Now, I do understand that even in some cases, like for myself over the past year, longer than that, but just focusing on what I've experienced over the past year, being out of work and, things like that. This situation that I've had going on in my life, or just being out of what I thought was my element. And my element to me was being able to work, being able to help out around the house financially, just to be able to put in something. Okay. Well, God takes you out of that comfort zone, takes you away from what you are used to, what you think is best for you, what you think you're very good at, and then he sits you down. And to you, it's the end of the world. It's dark. It's heavy. It hurts. It sucks. You're struggling. People can't understand what's going on with you. You're fasting. Everybody is so confused about your life. Guess what? It ain't even about everybody else. It's just about you. It's about what God is trying to do in you. It's about what God has been doing in me. So what people don't get to witness and what they don't get to see, they may not understand. Okay. So my husband says, a lot of people don't recognize when they do not love themselves. Hard to have anything work when you don't know how to love who you are. That's step one. Yeah. Okay. And let me tell y'all why that's so big. And y'all know I'm like all over the place with this mind. Okay. But the reason why it's so big for us to learn how to love who we are is because everything you need is in you. Do you know how many people don't know who they are? Don't know what they desire? Don't know what they're here on earth to do? You could be 60 years old, still not love yourself, still not know your purpose, still not know what what you should be doing, who you should be with. You got to get to know you. And the only way to get to know you is to go through different experiences. And I'm telling you, life teaches us what doesn't work for us. See, we date people and then we realize those people are not, okay, that's not going to work for me. It's so individualized. Every single thing, all the way down to your purpose and your relationship with God. It is very individualized. It's just about you as a person. Okay. Most importantly, it's about God, but then you take that focus and also learn to focus on you and who he created you to be. And nobody can get to know you better than you. Okay, so we're always trying to figure somebody out. You don't need to figure anybody out. Figure out yourself, and then you'll function freely and more purposefully in the world. And then people will come to you and you'll get to know them better based on knowing yourself. And that's a hard task, okay? Because some things about yourself you realize you don't like. You don't want to admit. You'll be in denial. You know, there are many things that you're going to find that you don't like. But then there's also things that God will begin to reveal to you about yourself that you're going to fall in love with, that you're going to be happy it's you, that you're going to be glad that he chose you. You know, if you would have asked me some years back, what would I be doing today? Or, you know, if I would be married, and I would have told you no. I didn't see marriage in my future. Okay. But this is prior to learning to love me. So there are some things that we don't even think at all. I mean, we will deny to the death of us that that's not going to be the case, not knowing that in truth, God will be setting you up and preparing you for what you think you don't need or that you don't want. So I have this wonderful husband. Y'all know I be bragging on him. I'm sorry. I just cannot help it. God, thank you. You know, he's not a perfect man. Our marriage is not perfect. You know, our lives are not perfect, but we have a good relationship. We have a great friendship. We have great chemistry, and all of that works. All of that matters. And I'm grateful to be able to have him. And again, I wasn't even thinking about marriage way back when I was single and I was doing whatever I wanted to do. And, you know, having the friends I had, or the guy friends, or whatever I was dealing with, those things that weren't healthy for me, that I continue to want because I did not love who I was. And trust me, when you begin to really get into yourself, and God begins to reveal to you the reason why you are the way you are, the reason why you like what you like, the reason why you choose to do what you choose to do, some of that is going to take you to a dark place, okay? Because sometimes we don't even realize why we function in the way we do and make the choices we make. And there'll be underlying issues that you have not even begun to tap into, and then God will begin to show you. Only when you connect with God, though. You got to be connected to the plug. Yeah, hashtag Jesus is the plug, okay? So as I connect to God, the more I connect to him, the more I seek him, the more I fast, God shows me more about myself. Everything we need to do all the work that he's created us to do is already in us. The problem is having to peel through those layers to get to that place. Okay. And then we're not going to always feel qualified for whatever it is that God may be calling us to do. We ain't going to feel qualified. You know, sometimes I think to myself, you want me to do what? You know, but why not me? Why should I be afraid when I got him and he going to go before me? Why should I worry about it if, you know, he always comes through? In some way, shape, fashion, or form, he's going to make sure that we're taken care of. He's going to make sure that we're in the right, you know, doing what we're supposed to do. So for that, I thank him. I can't be mad at that. I can't be mad at somebody else's struggle. I can't be mad at somebody else's, you know, when they're winning. I'm happy for you. You got to learn to be happy for other people and thank God and rejoice in the greatness that God is doing in the lives of others, because know that they too are suffering through a process in order to get where they're going, in order to become who they're trying to become. Everybody, y'all, if you can't relate to nothing else in anybody else's life, you can relate to pain, and many people can relate to struggle, a struggle of some sort. It may not be financial, but everybody has experienced pain and everybody has experienced struggle, but you've also experienced happiness. I get tired of being upset. You know what I'm saying? I ain't interested in spending my days being mad, sad, worried, depressed. I've done that enough in my life to last me an entire lifetime. Okay. So I'm over that. So, you know, when somebody trying to, I'm not here to be bound or to have my head hung down, to be sad, to be walking in circles. I'm not. God has created me for much more. And I got to stand on his promises and trust his word and work it just like I'm supposed to. And that's exactly what he desires of you. You cannot do what somebody else is called to do. The greatness that's on the inside of you, he's needing for that to come out of you. So only you can show us the real you. Okay? It's not that, you know, When I get amongst these people, I can be you at all times, everywhere you go, in everything you do. And if you have to get around a crowd of people that make you feel like I can't be who I am, I need to dumb down to their level, or I need to be quiet when I'm in their presence because being my real self, just they can't accept me. They don't like it. They don't, you're going to have to start to dismiss some things and some people as you elevate, as you go up. Okay. And you got to be okay with that. We have to stop trying to force people to stay in our life. Stop trying to force people to be your friend. Stop trying to force people to be good family members. It's not necessary. It's not. I know that might seem harsh. I know people might be thinking, well, if they're my family, they're my family. Okay, some family you have to separate yourself from. So, in saying that, don't be afraid to disconnect yourself. Don't be afraid to dismiss people. Now, don't go out here being rude, crazy, and just, obnoxious with it. Let it be guided by God, okay? Let God lead you to where you need to be and whom you need to be around. Some people come into our lives for seasons, okay? And then some, they are lifelong people, and God, we thank you. Hey, Darren. Whatever the case is, learn how to release things when the time is up, when the season is over, when something has expired, let it go. Okay? Because anything that stays beyond its expiration date is going to spoil. It's going to be bad. It ain't even going to be good in any way. Okay? So, I'm just simply saying and encouraging you to push beyond your comfort zone, to, just trust God with those inner things that are, in some cases, tormenting you. Because some of us suffer with the spirit of torment where things are constantly bothering us, struggling. We're fighting demons all day long when all we have to do is release those things to God. Make your mind up. Speak what you want it to be. Speak over your circumstances. Speak over the things you're struggling with. Declare it. And when you speak, know that it is possible. Know that God, Kale, shut up. Right. Okay. Downright funky. But be confident in what God is already giving you and telling you. And when he put people in your life and allow people to pour into you, the right people. Because sometimes, y'all, we want everybody's opinion, everybody's advice, but the ones who God sends your way, you try to ignore. You don't like them enough to hear them. You don't want to, it's crazy. We're so petty in so many ways all the time. People are always being petty. Come on. We got to grow up like yesterday. It is so. Y'all read my husband's comment. That's right. So, got to grow up. Got to be beyond that. It is not like we all haven't been petty at some point, because God knows we all have been, we all can be. We know. But enough is enough. Okay. So now I'm trying to be grown. I want to stay grown. I want to do grown things. And that's just that. It is time out. Hey, Phyllis. It is definitely time out. So, that's all I'm really going to talk about. That we need to subtract. Sometimes we got to deal with some subtraction to get additions. That God is trying to do such a new thing. That's the other thing we were talking about, right, Kia? That's the other thing. That sometimes God is getting ready to do something new. And fear will paralyze people. We get scared about what's getting ready to happen. We get scared, especially when we don't know exactly what it is God is working on, or what he's getting ready to do, or where he's getting ready to put us. And so we might have been in a position that seemed like the underdog. Okay. Real dark, brokenness, being broke, struggling, addictions, anything and everything. All these different things that have been pounding on us over and over and over again, time after time. And then all of a sudden you realize that all of that time that you were being pushed down, so you thought, in the ground, in the dirt, going deeper and deeper with more and more stuff piled upon you, or even being stretched back like in a slingshot. When you release it, though, the further you pull it back, the farther it's going to go, right? So the more things are piled upon us, the more things we're struggling with and stressing out over, trying to get ourselves in the right position for the sprouting, for the blooming, for the blossoming, or even for the projection, for the release. So whenever, he lets go, you're going to go way farther than you thought you were going. These situations are going to be preparing you for far greater than what you've been praying for. Okay? And I know what I be praying. Like, I got some real big goals, some real big dreams. And I know that the only person that could have placed those things on the inside of me is God. So I'm not getting ready to say, you know what, just because I'm from Clinton, I can't do it. Just because I was raised in a broken house or a dysfunctional family, I can't do it. Just because I experienced some hardships, some hurts, some unfortunate situations, some unfairness, some abuse, I can't do it. The devil is a lie. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. And baby, I'm strengthened, okay? I'm on my way. He's about to release the slingshot, and I'm about to be, I don't even know where. I don't know what I'm going to be doing. I am who I am because of whose I am. So I'm going to choose to believe him, trust him, and lean on him as I wait for him to send me where I'm going, to continue doing what I'm supposed to do. So when you learn how to serve other people, even when everything is going bad for you, hey, Stuffy, when you learn how to serve other people, when you're hurting, when you're broken, when you're suffering, you know what I'm saying? Look, I even thought about how I used to work at the doctor's office, and since the beginning of time, if y'all know me or know of me, you know I talk, okay? I have always been able to connect with people. I have always been able to hold a conversation and somebody pour out what's going on in their life with me for whatever reason. I don't know, Anyway, it's just my personality. It's just who I have been. So even back then, when I was broken, when I was a ratchet mess, and I'm talking about all the way through and through, I was a hot, sizzling mess. God used me even then. I would give people things, and I'm not saying me personally, but the Spirit of the Lord would have me say something to somebody that they needed to hear. I worked at the doctor's offices for 15 years. I know, right? A little young looking, spirit of youth upon me. Hallelujah. Okay. Okay, I'm too much. But I'm just saying, even back then, in my brokenness, in my despair, in my darkness, in my depression, God would use me. So stop thinking that just because somebody comes a certain way, oh, they're not good enough to tell me nothing from God. You don't know. So what you better stop missing out on are the words that are being delivered to you as God sends somebody. Because sometimes we straight miss out. Say that, multimillionaire. Hallelujah. In the name of Jesus, received and believed. Okay. Thank you, Nikhil. Thank you, darling. But I'm telling you, don't be afraid to walk in the way in which God is sending you. Put your spiritual blinders on, because you have no time to be all out in your peripheral trying to see what's going on, trying to figure out who's doing what. Let me tell you something I heard. I was listening to a sermon by Mike Todd. And hey, Kim. Hey, Kimberly Ball girl. What's up? I was listening to a sermon, and he said, he was talking about some horses racing. And he was just saying, in the races, the horses have blinders on so that they're not looking in their peripheral view, so that they can stay in their lane. Because if you get out of your lane, you are disqualified from the race. Somebody catch that. How many of y'all really catch that one? Understand, your lane belongs to you. And in your lane is you, your journey, your life, where you're going, what you're doing, what you're supposed to be doing. Hello, Lavender Queen. And while you're in this lane, you're so busy trying to look over to the left, look over to the right, watching everybody else without those spiritual blinders on, getting off track, getting out of your lane, slowing the process, getting disqualified, getting thrown out of the race. Start again. Try again. Get in the race. Stay focused. Stay forward, okay? Not back, not to the side. Just face front. Keep going. Your own lane. It was created just for you, okay? I actually like my own lane. Tell you the truth, you know what I'm saying? I'm feeling it. I am feeling my lane. It was created for me. God, I thank you. The days can't be easy. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's tough. But you are a chip off the old block. Okay. I am my father's daughter. And my father is in heaven. So I don't have to worry about pain. I don't have to worry about struggle. Those things, they're going to come, they're going to go. Okay? So just learn how to endure. Learn how to be happy and joyful, even in the midst of what seems like the worst situations. Be thankful. Find something to be thankful for. You know, just waking up is enough to be thankful for. And I know people say that and it's so cliche, but it is the absolute truth. Because when we woke up today, there were plenty who did not. Okay? So we have a lot to be thankful for. We just be tripping. We just always wanting more than we need. Always. But that's the way it is. That's how it is. It's cool. That's it. Okay? Y'all know how I am. Y'all know what I'm going to say. I want y'all to do what y'all do best. I absolutely love you. I can't wait to hear some of the great things that are going on in the lives of those who choose to watch and follow me. I appreciate you. So, do what you do best. That is being you. Next week, I was thinking about doing a Q&A. So if you guys would like to send me some questions and I can answer them on here next Thursday, let's do that. Let's do another Q&A. We ain't did that in a minute. So y'all send me some questions to my inbox. And I might get Mr. King to join me. But y'all just, you know. Hey, y'all Ida. Y'all just hit me up. See you Sunday live at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right, y'all got me. Share the video.